All right. Let's see. It's all right. It's pretty much the end of the deer hunting season for myself and everybody that got drawn with me, which was my wife and my son. So we ended up getting the first week hunt of the year or whatever. So it's the last week of October, which is usually pretty hot. So I didn't like last year get so much footage and stuff like I did. Um, this year I only got a little bit basically of myself because my wife got out 3 days. Well, this is kind of a story, so we'll get into that. She got out the first 3 days, and there was so many people. She never ended up. We never even ended up seeing anything until her third day, and it can't even tell if it was a buck or anything. Um, Son never got to get out, so work and stuff like that. So, all right, let's start at day one. So we get out there. We get out there like normal. We get out pretty early. Get to our little spot where we like to glass and where we killed two the year before, and then my brother got one with archery tag um, earlier this year. So we're there glassing around, and not uncommon the first day to not see anything. But what we do see is a lot of people. It's a lot of people driving by, a lot of people stopping to glass up the area where we're at, and the truck is down the hill where we're at, and so it's kind of obvious people are in there, and then they see you, and I don't know, they take off and being a little inconsiderate, a little rude as far as riding desert roads and stuff in Arizona, pretty loud and all that stuff. So there was a ton of people. It was just pretty crowded, pretty packed. Um, People just loud everywhere, side by sides, quads, dirt bikes, all that stuff. Quads especially are super loud, man. You can hear them coming from I don't know, half a mile away. But anyway, so many people out the first Friday. Saturday was just as bad, and then Sunday not as bad. But come Monday, most of the people are cleared out. So that was the day I was waiting on. But unfortunately, my wife only had the first 3 days, so we glassed around, nothing. The second day we glassed around, nothing. The third day we had a little tip, so we went and glassed around. And as we're glassing this hill, another side by side pulls up about 200 yards down from us, and they start walking with their rifle in the direction of the hill we're glassing. So they're a little inconsiderate, but I guess they figured if they were 200 yards away, they were good. I don't know. With my rifle, I could shoot a lot further than that, so that I don't understand that whole logic of intruding on somebody's area. But anyway, nobody was there when we pulled up, so we got the spot and we were glassing, and they ruined it, so we turned the opposite direction, and that's when I spotted three. Couldn't tell what they were because the distance they were about 600 yards away, but that was basically our first excitement of the day. Um, and then we lost them. So I think the one in front might have been the buck, but I couldn't tell because the movement, and then a side by side came and made the noise, and so they took off. Then I ended up losing them. Um, so we hung around a while, tried to glass them up, didn't see nothing. So that was basically her day, her time. So didn't get anything for her or whatever. And then we couldn't stay out late all those days because stuff at the house and stuff like that. And she had to get ready to go back to work. So we came back pretty early that day. I think by like noon or something, we were heading back. Um, so unfortunately, she got nothing. So come Monday, my brother and myself, we head out, and we start the same area, glass in the same area that we started off with. And then nobody, I think one person maybe came by. We saw Border Patrol on the way in, and then maybe we noticed another quadder side by side that got in before us, up west of us, up around this hill and stuff. And we never saw him. We just heard him start it up and take off. Um, so we were pretty much the only ones out there. So that same tip that I had got for the same area the day before. We went back over there that me and my wife went to, and we started glassing that same hill where the people were walking over that way. So supposedly somebody shot at 2 bucks, or 2 people shot at a buck or something like that, some spikes. So we went over there to take a look. Spike or not, is gonna take them out. So we went over there to glass it up, and up at the rock face, about halfway up this hill, was about 300 yards, 350, something like that from us, and we saw like 2 or 3, but we couldn't make out what they were again. I don't think they were bucks, but we knew we were onto something in that area. So another tip I had was around to the east of that hill, that mountain or whatever. There was some more bucks or forks or something, a little tiny little 2 points. So we parked closer to the road and then hiked in there about 500-600 yards. Somebody had a video, and I knew exactly where the area was. So we went over there to pop in there and see what was going on. What's up, right? So we go over there, we hike up into that area, and come up to exactly where that video was filmed, because I'm real familiar with the area. The person that took the video, I actually showed him that area the first time they were ever out there, so I know that area. This is 36B in Arizona. So so we pop up there, we glass around, and nothing. So for whatever reason, I like to glass up at the tops of the hills, anywhere where I would think somebody would be hiding, or a deer would be hiding in the thick greenage or whatever, bushes, and then around the rocks and stuff. And also maybe I might see a mountain lion. So I'm glassing hardcore there in all these high spots, and every time I do that, my brother's like, "You really think we're going, you want to climb up that?" I'm like, "Yeah, we only have to do it once, so I'm not against it. One time, it's a story. I'll try anything once, sort of." So I start glassing around, and I happen to glass straight north of me, and I see this big wide rear end and this rack, and I can tell right away it's pretty big, because the rack appears to be pushing the ears down, and it looks pretty wide, and whatever, you guys know the deal. So I'm watching him, and I'm like trying to call my brother, and he's not listening. So then I finally get a hold of him, whatever. He's right behind me, and then I'm still got him in the binos, and then I pull up my rangefinder to range him. I didn't exactly get him in the rangefinder, but I got a bush or the rocks or whatever right there. So I think I had ranged it. It was like 450 or something like that, or 350. It was like between 350 and 450. And then when I put the rangefinder down, picked the binos back up, I lost him. So that quick. So either he went over that hill to the north side, or he was bedding down in that bush. So this was getting later in the morning or whatever, and my brother had to get back too. So we do the stuff early in the morning. We don't really stay out all day. Mostly because of all the people that are out there, but during the week like that, this would have been a day we would have stayed out there, but unfortunately that day we couldn't. So the next day we were going back, which would have been Tuesday. We were going to stay out there all day. Wednesday all day, Thursday morning or something like that. So we hung out a while, tried to spot him, tried to spot anything else, didn't see nothing. So since he was like trying to get me to go up on the east, the other, so the hills go like that. He came up and over here, and then he wanted me to go up on the east hill and try and spot him or flush him out or something. I'm like, no, man, like it's gonna be a lot of work to get up there and get him, and then quartering him out and packing him back to the truck. Like that's gonna take some time. So I was like, you know what? It was like 11 or 12 or something like that. I was like, this dude's clearly going to go bed down for the day, and he'll probably be up in the afternoon, but no one else is out there, so why rush it? So this is, like I said, 600 yards off one of the main roads, and people were sticking to the main roads off the side-by-sides. people weren't really hiking too far off of the main road. So we had that advantage. So the plan was to just back out, glass anything on the way out, and then come back in the morning and get this guy, and then wait there all day if we had to. So we go home, and during this whole time, the World Series is going on. So I'm catching every game as I go home. So I think at this time we were in game 3, right, on Monday night. And this happens to be the game of the World Series that went 18 innings. So it was pretty much midnight before I go to sleep, and Dodger fan, so I had to watch, right? So it's crazy, stress. It was like I lost more hair. So that night, it's staying up 18 innings. I'm losing my just going crazy. Game ends. We win. 18 innings. It's midnight. I'm gonna get up like at 4 o'clock because my brother's gonna be here at 5. We're gonna be out there before the sun comes up. So I get up at 4, freaking, you know the deal, tired. So he gets here, we head out and start getting that caffeine, start slamming that, not that, coffee actually. So I start pounding the coffee, get out there, and then we just look around the way in, take our time, and then get to the spot again, park the truck, and check the wind, and the wind wasn't blowing up. The hill wasn't blowing like northish. It kind of was just dead. So we were gonna hike back in there, kind of where we saw him, hang out there and try to catch him. So as we were walking, we're walking east down that road. We stopped periodically to glass up that hill, and I don't know how to. So if the hill is like this, and I saw him on the east side, and he went over. There's a little hill, or I don't know I forget how you call it, like a ridge or a saddle, right? There's a little saddle in between 2 high points, and the plan kind of might have been was to go up there, come around the north if he would have still on that other side. So I was pretty certain he went to the north side to chill. So as we come around the first big hill, and that saddle's exposed, we stop to glass up there. And as I'm glassing, my brother sees him, and then tells me where he's at, and he's damn near at the center of that saddle. There's a trail, and it goes up, and it's pretty cleared out. So he's just there eating away, and just enjoying the sun and whatever. And so I see him, and right away it's like, well, I gotta take this shot right now. So we step off the road to a little clearing so I can get my sticks out and get a range. So I get a range, and it's like 420 to like to like the top of that saddle. So I kind of just give myself the furthest, a little bit past where he was, so kind of get myself, what the worst is gonna be. So I throw a range. The range is 420. So I get down on my knees, get the sticks out, get the 308 out, dial in for 400 yards elevation, and then I'm kneeling on my knees, and I know that's not the most comfortable position or the right position for me to take the shot. Probably should have been sitting on a foot or sitting on my butt completely. But nonetheless, as I was doing that, I knew that probably wasn't stable enough, but either way. So I kneeled down, and we lose him, and then he comes out again, and I'm trying to talk to my brother, and he's ignoring me or something, or can't hear me. So I'm like, I'm gonna take the shot. He's not saying nothing, so I don't know if he's got his stuff in, whatever, his ears, whatever. I'm taking the shot. Dialed it at 400, 420, should be no big deal. I put the crosshair right to the top of his shoulder, or his back, spine, whatever, but kind of right on top of that. Pretty much rightish on top of it. So hopefully I get a little bit of play and it drops just a little bit in. Take the first shot, and he just stands there. And I'm like, there's no way, this thing should have dropped. So then chamber another round and kind of moves around, and um, so then we're looking again, and then I get a different angle on him. So I take another shot, and then I ended up taking 2 more shots, but the 2 more shots weren't as good as confident shot as that first one. That first shot, I was like, this guy, I got him. There's no way I missed him. And then I took 2 more follow-up shots, and then all of a sudden, a few seconds after the third shot, he goes down. So we're pretty certain we got him. We go back to the truck, lighten the load, hike up there, and then at the end I'll show right now I'll show all the video that I have of the whole entire hunt, which isn't much, and pictures or whatever. So I'm looking up. Anyway, so then we start hiking up, and then we got that video halfway up, and then we got the video finding them, and then we drag them up, and then I don't take too many pictures. That's really not my thing. I always forget. My deal is I knew it was time to work, so we had to cut this guy up to get him back down. So so anyway, it was gonna be a lot of work. So it's about 7:20. So we hike up there, get up there, find him, drag him up to that top of that saddle, and then cut him up. And then the entrance, the bullet went straight through, so we didn't see like too much blood. Like you don't normally when you drop them, there'll be a big thick spot of blood or whatever, and it wasn't in that area. So we drug him up, and when I cut him up, it looked like it hit his, it went through the right shoulder, the shoulder blade so high, and then came in and came out pretty much the same area on the way out. So then when we gutted it up and checked the heart and all the stuff on the inside, nothing was hit. So I think basically if you look at how the vitals and everything are on the deer, toward the center behind the front legs is where all the stuff is. It looks like if all the vitals were there, I hit them just above everything. So the what do you call it? The lethality or whatever the hell of that bullet was still gonna kill him. It just took a second for it to drop him. So like I said, I'm pretty sure I hit him on that one. I didn't really find any other bullets in him, so any other rounds or anything. So I can't account for those other 2 rounds, but I'm pretty sure it just took him a second since it didn't hit anything vital. But it hit him, and it took him a second or 2 for him to figure it out. And then he dropped him. So yeah, so it was about 4:20, give or take, around there where I hit him. So yeah, that was about it with the 308. That's a Savage 308 that I got from Walmart. It was like a clearance special for like $100 something bucks, and then I got a decent vortex on it. But it's not always the gear. You still gotta have the skills. So I'm pretty confident with that rifle. Probably out to 550 at least. So this wasn't a shot I didn't think at all I couldn't make. I knew I could make it. That's why when I didn't hit, I'm asking for feedback for my spotter over here, and he's not really saying nothing other than he thought he saw a dust cloud or whatever right behind him and up, which would make sense, right? Because I'm shooting up. So if you see the smoke slightly above the animal, that would make sense that it hits behind him, and then you would see it, right? So that was the call on the first shot. The second shots, he was in some more thicker brush and stuff, so he probably wouldn't have seen nothing. The first one, it was in the clear. But yeah, so anyway, that was pretty much it. Diced them up, packed them back down to the truck, got them home, put them on ice, let them drain, and then we do everything ourselves. I do everything myself, so let it drain and cool for about 3 days, and then I just chopped them up the other day. And then we started grinding it up, and we ate some this morning. So I think that's the first deal. I ate a little steak the other day. Man, this thing had so much fat on it. It had an inch or thicker of fat, which is I was showing my buddy. He's never really seen that, especially on a Couse deer. This thing had some weight to it. It had a layer of fat, and then it had a layer of meat, then it had another layer of fat, then it had the meat around the ribs again. And then when we cracked open and looked inside the ribs, it was a thick area of meat also. So we pulled as much meat as we could. The neck was huge. There was so much meat, I just kept pulling off that. This thing was so big that I still ended up getting a brisket off of the front end. So when I pulled that quarter off and I kept skinning up to the neck, that meat, if you look at that chunk of meat, when I was dicing up, it looked like a brisket. So it had a big fat chest on it. We got a lot of meat, got the straps, got the loins, we got everything. My brother took the heart and diced it up. He said thin to win, whatever the hell that means. I guess he floured it up, fried it, and then they ate it. He said it was great. Like I said, we made sausage out of it, breakfast sausage, and that was pretty good. I fried some up, gave it to the dog. Of course, he loved it. I had that steak, like a skirt steak, and not much flavor to that, and I could have used some more spices on it, but since I was going to share it with the dog, I ate about half. I gave him half. I didn't want to put much more than a little salt and pepper, even though he probably shouldn't eat that. But that was also within a couple of days of it, so I don't know. It was all right. It just was like not much flavor, not much fat, right? So tonight we'll be making some enchiladas out of it, and with the ground, I made a bunch of ground meat, venison out of it, and we got some roasts, a lot of roasts. That meat was those rear quarters were so big. There was so much meat. I felt like I even wasted some. As I was cutting and chopping it up, there was more meat than I had seen on any of the other smaller ones we had gotten years previous. But we tried to take as much as we could. We couldn't. Unfortunately, we just can't pack the whole thing down. It's pretty steep and pretty dangerous going up and down that. And then it was still hot. Like, it's still 90 degrees out here. So we had to work as fast as we could. And it's not like we were going to leave it up there, come back and forth, and trust that it was going to stay cool. So like I said, we diced as much as we could off, trimmed as much as we could. And I the little scraps and stuff, I feel, I wish I would have been able to get them. But unfortunately, it was pretty sketchy just climbing down that. So couldn't like just pack the whole thing up and take them down. We just quartered them out and took as much as we could. So yeah, that's about it. That's the 2025 Couse deer story. So yeah, check out the rest of the video. This is kind of long because I ramble and stuff, but anyway, the screenshot thumbnail should be of the Euro mount. So he's I got him boiled out, cleaned off, and he's got the peroxide on him. I ended up damaging the nose. I think I boiled him a little too much, and I was trying to peel some of that meat off, that tendon or whatever that stupid thing is in that nose. I ended up ripping it off. Got a little careless. But anyway, my buddy's kind of sort of scoring it. He claims, he believes it's about 100-inch deer, which is I guess like a trophy style. But anyway, it's a great animal. Tastes pretty good, and was a lot of meat. So the what do you call it? The tamales will be coming soon. A favorite of everybody that's had them. So we look forward to being able to give people something like that. You know what I mean? So that kind of makes it all worth it. Not just the mount and all that stuff, but that's probably the biggest rack I got. But yeah, so there you have it. So stay tuned and watch the rest of the video, and I think it'll be some the difference. You know, I recorded up, and then I recorded the side and portrait and whatever the hell the other one, landscape. So it'll be a little bit back and forth, but that'll be pretty much the end of that. So I was the only one that was able to get anything. Boy couldn't go. My wife, it's just too many people out there too many very inconsiderate people that were out there, and it is what it is. So either way, enjoy the rest of the video, and yeah, there's always archery season at the end of this year and January, so maybe we could still go out there and get her something. But anyway, all right, thanks for watching. It's day 1, 2025 deer season. I'm out here, myself, my brother, and my wife. Down there somewhere. Been out here 2 hours or so. Haven't seen anything. All right, it's day. What day is it? 5th day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 5th day, 2025. Buck season. Yesterday, at the end of the day, we caught us a monster up there. Came out here first thing this morning, and got a shot. I think 420, and we're on this steep ass hill, trying to hit up there. We saw him drop. We just gotta go make sure he's up there. So, gassing out. Had to take a break real quick. All right, stand by. All right, we're gas. We got the big boy. It's a 3x3. Nice. We'll have to figure out where to drag him.
Shot it from way down there.
Stop, tell me.
Go ahead.
All right, packed up. This thing's a lot heavier than I thought, but hopefully it looks like it's a lot because it feels like a lot. So got a nice, shoot that down there, steep walk down. Hopefully we don't get hurt. So he's got the head, and I got the 4/4 and whatever else. So all right, heading back to the truck.